Oh,
Hello.
hi. How are you?
Uh, I guess I'm all right.
Yeah. Hang on a bit here. I got to wash my hands.
All right.
Yeah, I'm back.
So how's it going, Glenn?
Nice and warm today.
Yeah, it is. It was pretty hot. Yeah.
A little windy.
Oh, it's windy up there.
Looks like there might be something on the storm side for this evening.
Oh man. Yeah. Since I last talked to you, man, I've been reading the encyclopedia like crazy, man.
Yeah?
I'm finding, and you know what? You're right about that old dictionary. I'm finding things that I'm just, like you said, a place I never expected.
Yeah. Not under any title you would expect.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's in the encyclopedia too, and it's in the dictionary. They have a term called abracadabra.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would they put that in the dictionary?
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things like that.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was interesting how like you have the word delusion, and it's like half of that word is deluge, and that's I forgot the exact definition, but it's like that whole Los Angeles type of thing that they do. Yeah, but yeah. When you read these encyclopedias and you read like, because I'm reading Morals and Dogma, and I keep going back to the encyclopedia for reference and stuff. But they throughout the whole book they adore God, like they worship the Neanderthal, man. I'm just like, wow, man, it gets kind of disgusting, man. I'm just like, this Neanderthal, fuck you guys, man. Just want all this, like, adoration from people, and just, it's like, wow.
Well, somebody that's a control freak, that's what he wants. He wants to be the center of attention, of everybody's attention.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess they are, like, the Neanderthals. Bitches. They just do that. But yeah, I'm finding like symbolism, like I looked up the definition of, because what the like in the encyclopedia, he'll tell you something, but then I don't know, like my mind, I start like overstanding, I guess.
Yeah.
And I could put it together in my, because he won't just flat out tell you. He'll tell you, like, he'll tell you a lot of stuff, but
you get the hints.
Yeah.
And then in comes the premonitions.
Yeah. Because you laid it all out. So I'm like, oh, wow. So you helped a lot, laying out the big story.
Well, the big picture. The premise for the entire story is what's required to put things in context.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I was looking up the one definition called the blazing star.
Mm-hmm.
When they go in there. And they said this is the star of direction, the star that guided the wise men. Yeah, and that's also and they were wise men from the east, so that's all symbolic of that priesthood. And I guess stars is rats, and the rats are leading them. So yeah, I'm finding little things like that all throughout.
When they talk about stars, you're never sure if they mean tar, rats, star.
Yeah.
But it's all the same thing because it all is a path. A journey follows a path. Whether the stars are on television or in the sky, or whether they're in streets as tar. It's all basically a journey following a path. Rats lead the way. I like the one about why are the rats first off of a sinking ship?
Oh.
Because they chewed the goddamn bottom out. And they caused it to sink.
Oh. Yeah, I am finding all these little, revelations, and there's a lot, I know it's a lot of it's, to me, a lot of Freemasonry, a lot of it's like BS to me, like, but there's a lot of wisdom in there.
Sure.
But it's just funny how they...
Satan and Saturn, Satan and Santa.
Yeah. Satan's cause, right?
Same people.
Yeah. But it's just, it's ironic how these people are like the total opposite of all this wisdom. And they're all taught this growing up, like, because we're taught education, public education, and they're taught this, like. But it's all like I'm looking up like the Kabbalah, the means of the Kabbalah. It's all taking me to Zoroaster. This all goes to this person. And I know it's all and when they all talk about like the founding of like Zoroaster, they always have caves and these people go into mountains and live as hermits as caves and just.
And Zorro is another way of saying ruse, and Aster is the stars.
Oh.
So it's the ruse of the stars. And stars lead the way. So are they talking about people?
Yeah.
Or are they talking about going into space? Or are they talking just about the journey?
Yeah.
So those are the things you got to always keep in mind. Because they do all of them.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's I don't know if I think you speak to Brian too. He sent me an article. It's pretty interesting.
Brian from Brazil?
Yeah, from Brazil.
Yeah.
He sent me an article of like this it was on actually I posted it on my blog and it was an article from the Daily Mail and they took it down, for some reason. But it was an article about these Amazonian ants.
Mm-hmm.
They're all female. They all clone off the female.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have any males inside that. I thought that was interesting.
That's where it all begins.
Yeah, it's all in the nature. It's all around us.
Yeah, and what they're describing now is rego, which means go back.
Yeah, you got to bring
so
it back.
you're reversing your direction. The binary code 01 becomes 1010. Reverse the direction. You're going back to a hermaphrodite. Yeah. The difference is this hermaphrodite is a pseudo-hermaphrodite rather than the original hermaphrodite.
That's the whole Luciferian doctrine, huh? He would create everything in his image. Because when they talk about God and devil, and these are all the same person, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Lucy is the first Lucifer. Iron Lucy.
Yeah. Iron Lady.
Yeah. Fur is basically iron in French.
Yeah. I understand that. Yeah.
And the element Fe. Femme.
So yeah, when you were talking about because this is taking me in your research, have you went and read through the Rig Veda hymns?
No.
No? Because they talk about like these things, like hint at it, like read all these.
Yeah, that'll keep you busy a long time and give you nothing. You keep using in Hindu long words.
Yeah.
Long words that mean nothing. So I try to keep away from that stuff and get to the meat of the puzzle. That's
what I wanted to do. I wanted to, because I'm thinking if I read it, I'll probably understand,
You can keep things like Vedas and Eddas for the days when you're retired and you want to giggle a little.
Yeah.
Not when you're doing work to try to get somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I know there's a book out there. I don't know if I say it over. I don't want it to be bad if I say it over the phone. But it's a book on Zoroaster. It's like $300. This book, and I know there has to be.
Yeah.
Because I really want to go into like the Zoroaster part, because I see it's an all Freemasonry. It's an all, you know,
yeah,
all the religions, all even the people who supposedly go against it, like Alan Watt. He's just like Zoroastrian belief system he had, I think.
yeah.
But,
That's what they were all taken to Persia for. Mm-hmm. It's you know, they call it the diaspora in Israel, mm-hmm. but really it's a scam. It's spread the people, the Jewish people throughout the world, while you take all the priests and their families back to Persia and you give them a 49-year crash course in Zoroastrianism. Mm. And then you bring them back. And then they don't fit. So then you have to send them away to Germany and start a new country in central Germany. And it becomes the center of Judean teachings, Germany. It's from there that they take control of Europe, and where Nazis were evolved.
Yeah, and all Nazism was, I'm seeing they were just trying to, their doctrine, they were, like, it goes back to, like, India, and they were trying to...
Ashkenazim.
Yeah, but it's pretty... Speaking of Judaism, I ran across a guy called, I think his name was Clement of Judea, or Judaeus.
Yeah.
Of Clement. But I'm finding all these, like, different sects and cults and mystery schools. And
the interesting thing that doesn't sound interesting when you're first looking at it is who comes back from Persia into Israel. And they list the tribes, and then they list the names of the people. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing how these names still exist today, and how they are in positions of influence and power, especially in the media. Mm. Thakur is one of the most important names there. And Stephen Thakur is the BBC's, what do you call it, 60 Minutes. You know, the kind of guy that asks probing questions of everybody on the pretext that he wants to help the people to know, but in fact he's working for the system to try and get information that the person may not have made public before.
Yeah. Speaking of that the media, I seen something, and I was thinking about you. I seen it. It was all over the news, like over here, and I was, you know, I was in the gym and in the locker room. And I seen it, and I was like, because it was like, oh, a shooting just happened. Oh, we don't even know. Yeah. It was 12 people, or this number 12. It killed 12 people, and I knew that was like a message for you know, the people. I guess in the know. So now I see a method to all this madness.
Yeah, it's good for ratings.
Yeah, that's the sick part. I you know, I didn't even stay to watch. I was like, this is all control, like, and people just shake their heads like, oh, you know, like, you know, they because it's not happening to them. They're just like, oh.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. Mm-hmm. And therefore, they have to build these pictures in your mind, so that what you see is what they've said, not what happened. Yeah. And always interesting when you hear somebody, a commentator on TV or radio, and he'll talk about the extreme left wing, the extreme right wing. Right away at the beginning, you don't like these people.
Yeah.
You know, and that's their job, is to polarize and make half the people go in one direction, the other half go in the other direction.
I know my mother's calling me like, oh, you're extreme left wing, yeah. So extreme. Now, using their terminology, extreme left wing is supposed to be what, like communism or something? Or?
Yeah.
So now I'm a communist.
And if you're right-wing, you're a Nazi. And there ain't no difference between one of them. Communists and Nazis are basically management of the people by a different group.
Yeah.
Communism is by bureaucrats, and Nazism is by corporations. What's the difference?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if you take a straight line and you put the different methods of governing people on the line, at one end you get communism, at the other end you get fascism.
Yeah.
What the people don't understand is the line is not straight. The line is in 360 degrees. The communists and the fascists stand side by side.
Yeah, that you just remind me of that. They call it a circle, and the point within the circle. Yeah. And this was like the symbol of their god in the past. It was that's bar, right? That's and
you get 90 degrees going up from the ground, 90 degrees going down from the ground, 90 degrees going down into the ground, and 90 degrees coming out from the ground.
No, that's a crucifix with the circle around. This one's a dot with a circle around it. It's like a dot eyeball. With a circle. Yeah. I thought that was like, because I know that was like worshipped in the past as some. And now I understand what the 47th problem of elusive. It's basically telling you it's a 3-in-1.
Yeah.
3. Yeah. But they put it in terms of geometry and trigonometry.
Yeah.
And I guess they try to confuse you. Yeah, man, when I get up there, man, you're going to have to let me, I don't know, whatever book you're not reading anymore. Oh,
what I need to do as part of the things I want to do this summer is I want to take what is the library room downstairs and turn it into a video room. And you can't have both at the same time because people reading don't want to be listening to other people watching videos.
Yeah.
So I'll give you the job of moving the books to another room. And at the same time, you can dust them, read the titles, put them in place, and then you'll know what you want to read.
Yeah. Well, I'll be happy to do that, man. I'm planning. I want to come there this summer, and you know, I have another friend who's called you too. She's talking about coming up there. So. But yeah, I don't know. I am finding some people, but mostly it's just me by myself. Like in this world.
Yeah, you're not going to find too many people close around you. You need mass distribution for minimal response.
Wow. So I guess I gotta have like almost like the mind of a salesperson, like
Yeah.
But
you gotta have broad shoulders and
not care what people think about them.
No, that's irrelevant. It all comes down to numbers. When you're on sales, how many calls did I make today? How many demonstrations did I give? How many sales did I get? And it's all related. If you were to take the numbers from each person and add them up for a month, you'll see that there's a formula that comes pretty close to being, it takes me 7 calls to book 1 demonstration, and therefore I've been told no 6 times. It takes me 3 demonstrations to make 1 sale. So I've been told no 2 out of 3 times. And that, in fact, means that for me to sell my product, if it's a product that I believe in, and if it's not, I shouldn't be doing it, I have to be told no 20 times before one person says yes. So that's out of the 7 calls and 3 demonstrations, 1 sale. So you're doing basically 20 things in order to get a sale on the 21st. So you forget the sale, forget the demonstrations, and go out and do your calls. And if you do the calls, you'll get the demonstrations and you'll get the sales. And if you want to beat everybody else out in a sales capacity, you do 1 more call per day. Let everybody else do 7 calls and you do 8. That means that you will have 3+ sales, or 3+ demonstrations, 1+ sale for that period in time, and you'll end up winning every contest. Mm-hmm. And that's what I used to do.
Yeah, with this stuff, I just try to make, because I used to be almost like argument. You
try to force it down people's throat, even though they don't want to know.
Yeah, now I don't bother with that, but now with people, because like on the internet, I talk to people, I've been on other forums with other people who, they don't know about your work, and they're trying to figure stuff out, but I know they won't understand. So what I try to do is I try to I'll say something something like, what is truth? Mm-hmm. And ask people, and I've been discussing this with other people, because I ask myself, what is truth? Like that question that.
It's all relative.
Yeah. And that reminds me of the good, the bad, and the ugly. This Trinity. Yeah. It's all relative. and that's these terms. That's a lot of the terms like Albert Pike uses. These are all relative terms. What's he really mean by these terms? But and then they can play with that. They can say, okay, it means this to this level, it means this to this level, but to them it means something else. But yeah, what I try to get them to think, and and
what's
if they
the word relative? RE mm-hmm. means second.
Every.
AT means 8. That's the number for male.
AT, oh yeah.
There is no L. And that leaves you IVE, which is EVE, Eve. So the second male is the female Eve.
There's another word that I find they'll put little code in the words in the encyclopedia. There's I think it was a place people lived. It was called A Male Kites.
Yeah.
Now what are they telling me? A male, what's one male and what something with flying?
A is the A-frame, 2 in 1. A person that's 2 in 1. Hermaphrodite.
Oh.
Yeah, male can be lame, mm-hmm. can be elam, and can be whale.
Yeah.
And K is the mission.
Yeah. That's why they want. Yeah, I remember you mentioned. You said.
And IT is somebody that is a nit, not either male or female.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah.
And ES at the end, or EC, is basically saying here. EC, here. So anytime you see an EC or an ES mm-hmm. or an EZ, mm-hmm. it all means here. Look here, you'll find your answer.
Yeah, you have an advantage because that French conversion. Yeah. But I'm catching on with the French. My grandmother just came in Canada.
When you look at the history of Europe and you find a family called Medici.
Med-E-C.
Med-E-C.
Med here. Yeah.
The media is here.
Yeah.
the medicine is here.
Yeah, I look at the French words like when I hear like people speak, like my relatives, like she was telling me something about like when I was talking about slavery. She's like, "There's no more slavery. The people leave, and that I guess that means liberate." And so I look at that, the LIB, leave. That's in Bible. That's in libraries and the Aries and.
They're not libraries. They're libraries.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. So what do you like when people ask you like these questions like, what's reality? What do you say to them? Like, what is reality?
It's all relative. It's the same answer that Stephen Hawking gave the CBC when they said, "Do you believe in God?"
Mm-hmm.
And Stephen Hawking said, "I don't answer that question." And the woman said, "Why not?" He says, "Because the words mean different things to me than they mean to you."
Yep.
So how could I be explaining what I believe and you have a different definition for the words?
It's all relative. So it's the same thing with like evil, right?
Yeah. Live backwards.
Why is it live backwards? Why is it?
Because it's evil.
Oh man.
It's not evolution, it's evolution.
Oh, Eve.
Evolution ended when creation handed over power to the hijacker, and the hijacker began evolution.
Oh.
That's the Neanderthaler in 80,000 BC.
See, my opinion of what reality was that you can only tell somebody so much, but the ultimate reality, you got to see it for yourself. You can't.
It's in your spine.
Yeah, it's okay.
You got to think of it like trees, pine tree. Mm-hmm. Pine and spine are related. So a pine tree is the first tree to grow because it can handle harsh weather. Mm-hmm. As it grows and develops barriers of trees, it provides protection to deciduous trees, which are more valuable and stronger trees, but cannot take root under the conditions that exist at the beginning before the pine trees provide cover. And the same thing exists with a human being. The brain is the most important part of a human being today, but it could not have become a brain until the spine provided cover.
So the spine was the most important.
The spine provided all of the growth during the hard times. And when the hard times were behind them, the real hard times, then that provided space for the brain to expand, the head to get bigger, the brain to expand. But reptilians are the first samples of spine, whether they are worms or snakes or spines, they all carry the ancient wisdom.
That's why they use, snakes as allegory for wisdom.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I caught one today and I forgot all about it. I put it in a bucket. A little garden snake as a prop for my meetings.
They use, I heard like the Egyptians, they say that they used to wear the snake on, they called it the Uraeus, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And that was like a symbol of wisdom because the snake was born. They have this thing with being born again and born again. They love that symbology.
Yeah.
They always use that.
Well, a lot of people asked if they believe in religion will answer, if what you mean, have I been born again, the answer is yes.
Yeah, George Bush. And I guess I've been born again.
Yeah. I have no doubt you're not here for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you wouldn't be talking about these things.
Yeah, that's what I was. You know what? I called Alan Watt the other day, and I don't know how I got through. I just to see what he would say. I'm bringing up things, and like because I brought up because when I'm reading these things, it's like it reminds me of what Socrates said. He goes, when people are learning, is it actually that they're being reminded of what they? And that's what I feel like sometimes. Like I feel like I'm just reminding myself.
Yep.
And he's like, oh yes, they all have that belief in reincarnation, but he's against that. But I don't know. I see truth in it myself.
I've been told he now bleeps out my name.
Oh yeah, that's what he does now. He bleeped out your name, and the people who listen to him, like I talked. There's one guy who's really like a supporter of this guy. And I'm telling him, like, hey, listen, just look it up and look up like what Sufism is. Yeah. You'll see what it is, and he's just like, he just won't. He doesn't want to believe it. He doesn't want to. And I feel like I'm not gonna sit here and try to convince you, man. I'm just gonna tell you here, look into this. But it's like he wanted me to. He's like, just answer my questions, and he wanted me to do the search for him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do I look like, man?
Well, that's why he used to call me instead of doing any work for himself. He would call me once or twice a week, and then use the things I had told him on his show.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember hearing, like, on that old show he used to be on, and and the stuff that you're saying, like, the older stuff in the newspaper, was the stuff that he was saying in his radio show. I was like, wow. So yeah, I see.
we need kindergarten teachers. We need grade school teachers. We need high school teachers. We need university teachers, and we need postgraduate study. So he fits in the high school range, I think.
Yeah.
It's better that he be doing what he's doing than doing nothing.
Yeah. Because
at least he awakens the beginners.
Yeah. But he doesn't tell them. He gives people hints that, hey, listen, I'm controlled. Move on. Yeah. But I guess some people, even in people who the whole conspiracy crowd, you see that they pretend to be not like the masses, but in the actions are just like the masses. So, yeah, that's what I see all the time. It's
all there in your memory bank, your gray matter, if you can dig it out. And all you need is those little hints and sparks along the way, and it'll all work out.
That's what I'm seeing. Like whenever I get the hints, and I start thinking and reasoning, and I don't know. Like I really start like thinking, like, wow, maybe this isn't my first time. But I'm reading this stuff, like, I'm learning things about, like, the Bible. They call it one of the greater lights in Masonry, the light of God or whatever. But
they wrote what it is in the name.
Yeah,
bib.
Bib, yeah.
Yeah. When you're drooling, you need a bib.
Yeah, and they said that it was the same, like, as the Quran and all the other books. But they call it the oral law. See, if he said at first it was the oral law, and Moses, basically, it was the Moses spoke it to people, and he spoke it to his brother Aaron, the other high priest, and then some other people wrote it, and that's symbolic of the patriarchal.
Yeah.
And you said there was a difference between matriarchy and matriole.
Yeah,
what is the difference? What's the difference?
Material was what existed before the Ice Age. Matriarchal is what exists from the time of Noah.
Oh.
The Ark.
Oh, man.
It's genetically engineered matrial society.
Oh, man.
Matriarchal.
Damn. So I gotta go and look what matrial is all about. But I can't find... I
don't think they even list matrial anymore.
They don't. Because I remember typing that in and it was no search.
What you have to do is just remove the Ark.
Yeah. Be a sculptor, right?
Yeah. Look for what's not there as much as for what's there. Because what's not there is as important.
What creation created.
You've got to think of it in the context of somebody saying, I'm going to take a piece of wood or a piece of rock, and I'm going to take away the garbage and expose the sculpture which was made by creation. It's there, it's hidden inside, and my job is not to make it, but simply to remove the garbage.
Yeah. There's a lot of garbage, though.
It never ends.
So, in a sense, I'm a garbage man. You know?
Yeah, we're all garbage men. We have to undo what they've done to cover up their evil deeds. Well, I gotta go. I gotta go give some water to some hot goats and donkey out there. So,
all right.
I'll talk to you again.
Yeah, and good luck, man. And I will see you, man. I want to see you.
Good.
All right.
We're waiting for you.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, bye.